Imagine waking up in a place where your language disappears. You want coffee, but your words fail. A smile replaces hello. A gesture replaces please. A raised eyebrow becomes a question mark. You're not just trying to communicate. You're discovering how another culture thinks, feels, and jokes. And here is what that tells us. Language isn't just communication. It's perspective. It rewires how you judge problems, how you read people, even how you understand who you are. So welcome to this video on the hidden benefits of multilingualism. How speaking more languages expands your world. First off, multilingualism promotes cultural understanding. Languages aren't just words. They're windows to the world. And what happens when we open more than just one? Multilingualism greatly promotes cultural understanding in a number of ways. Why? Because language reflects culture. A language carries the values and emotions and the history of its speakers. Learning it gives you access to their worldview or perspective. We discover cultural nuances. Humor, politeness, idioms, and gestures reveal how another culture thinks and communicates. There's a certain empathy and connection that's created when you're speaking someone else's language. It shows respect, building trust, and in the end, deeper human connection. We can break down stereotypes. Real stories challenge assumptions, replacing labels with understanding. It's no longer just a superficial knowledge, rather something experienced. We gain access to cultural artifacts such as books, films, poetry, and music that gives us a deeper meaning in the original language than something just translated or we understand through translation rather than direct communication. Next, multilingualism promotes improved cognitive abilities. Understanding culture is only the beginning. Multilingualism also rewrites how your brain works. Learning languages can strengthen memory, improve multitasking, and attention control. It also boosts problem solving and critical thinking, while enhancing creativity through expressions. It can even improve our decision making by evaluating the context more carefully than we might do in our mother tongue. We also build a cognitive reserve, possibly delaying cognitive decline as shown by numerous studies. The third aspect is that multilingualism promotes career opportunities. Your value in the global market will increase. Being multilingual opens doors to global companies and international clients, jobs abroad, and remote global work. I have a Vietnamese friend whom I mentored, and her niche now is creating challenges for Vietnamese people to improve their English so they can have more career opportunities and, if they want, work online. Languages open careers in education, law, healthcare, tourism, diplomacy, interpretation, and tech. There is higher earning potential in many industries. In my own case, I worked for General Electric at a very high position at a young age because I was multilingual. Specifically, my ability in Japanese, and cultural understanding. Later, I became a professor, and though I taught mainly in Japanese, I also taught in languages such as Chinese in Shanghai and Taipei for Tulane University, and at Chulalongkorn University in Bangkok, Thailand. These opportunities would be impossible without multilingualism. I wasn't teaching language. I was teaching cross-cultural management, communication, and negotiation, as well as other related courses in these local languages. Even basic proficiency shows employers you're adaptable and ready to learn. When a corporation sends a manager abroad, it's quite risky. The questions become, will they be able to adapt to the language and the culture in order to be productive and emotionally satisfied? The fourth category is promotion of global citizenship, because learning multiple languages isn't only about earning more money and having more opportunities. It's about belonging to a larger world. When you speak multiple languages, it helps you understand international issues beyond just one narrative. It promotes communication across borders and acts as bridges between different cultures. You begin to appreciate diversity and fight prejudice. You have the feeling of connection to a global community. Fifth, multilingualism promotes enhanced communication skills. This global awareness transforms how we communicate to our fellow human beings. Multilingual individuals often have a broader vocabulary and expressive range, and they learn better listening and inference skills, understanding what is not being explicitly said, rather seeing it as a whole in the context of the particular culture involved. In other words, it's related to strong nonverbal awareness. So you're not just hearing the words, you're also looking at the body language and the expressions. And you create a higher empathy in the conversation. There's always more empathy when you connect, especially when you're speaking somebody's language. As Nelson Mandela said, you're speaking to their heart rather than just to their head. Also, when communication breaks down, you can be more creative in diffusing a tense situation. And aspect number 6 is that multilingualism helps you break down stereotypes. Once our conversations deepen, something powerful happens. Stereotypes begin to collapse. Knowing languages and using them in various cultural contexts exposes us to diverse perspectives, ways of looking at a situation, issue, etc. When we learn a new language and about the associated culture, it challenges our assumptions and biases. It builds empathy through shared experiences as we communicate with the speakers of that language. And thus it is possible to bridge cultural divides through more effective communication. It also helps us confront accent and language discrimination. We replace generalizations with real human stories and experiences. And finally, number 7, multilingualism promotes increased adaptability. When we break through mental borders or walls, we become more adaptable, not just in that particular language, but in life in general. Multilingual individuals are often able to switch communication styles easily in order to create greater empathy and understanding. And thus, it's easier to adjust to new workplaces and cultures. You learn to stay calm when you still don't understand everything. It's what Hofstede called tolerance of ambiguity in the context of culture, but also in the context of language. Can we continue listening without trying to figure everything out at once? Can we take in that information and process it over time to create a much better understanding? So, thus, a multilingual individual using the languages in various cultures obviously becomes more adaptable. Also, with different kinds of people, even in their own language and culture. And also, there's a bonus, and that is we gain access to diverse media and literature. We can understand stories and films and music directly without any subtitles or translation. And we have access to untranslatable humor, poetry, music, and storytelling. So it's authentic cultural depth, not found in translation. So I can say from experience that I've been greatly enriched through the study of languages and experiencing new cultures. My intellectual curiosity has been greatly expanded over the years. So in conclusion, multilingualism doesn't just teach us new words. It expands our worldview by building cultural understanding, enhancing cognition, opening careers, promoting global citizenship, improving communication skills, breaking stereotypes, being more adaptable, and unlocking access to diverse literature and media. So please tell me in the comments, which language changed your worldview and why? Thank you for listening, and see you in the next video. If you would like to know more about my experience over the past 5 decades, learning and using more than 30 languages around the globe, with adventures in 101 countries so far, then please visit my website, polyglotdreams.com. There you will find my memoir, A Life in 30 Languages, translated in various languages and integrated with audio and dual readers to offer a great way to improve your target languages.